The best thing that ever happened to me, Prince William's emotional words to Kate. The palace setting is familiar. The cameras are always watching. But the most powerful words Prince William ever spoke were not meant for the world. And yet, they reveal everything we think we know about royal love, and quietly challenge it. Because when Prince William said, "The best thing that has ever happened to me," he wasn't talking about the crown. He wasn't talking about duty. He was talking about Kate. And that single sentence changes the way their entire story is understood. For years, the public has seen Prince William and Kate Middleton as the ultimate royal success story. Calm smiles, perfect appearances, a modern fairy tale that survived pressure, protocol, and relentless scrutiny. But behind the polished images lies a much deeper emotional truth, one shaped not by glamour, but by patience, loss, fear, and a love that was tested long before it was celebrated. To understand why those words matter so much, you have to go back to the beginning. Not to the wedding day watched by millions, but to a quiet university campus where neither of them truly knew what the future would demand. William arrived at St. Andrews carrying the invisible weight of expectation. He was Diana's son, a future king, a young man already shaped by public grief. Kate arrived as a private citizen, grounded, observant, and unprepared for how completely her life would change. At first, theirs was not a dramatic romance. It was built in shared classes, late-night conversations, ordinary moments that felt safe. And for William, that safety mattered more than anyone realized. After losing his mother in such a public way, trust did not come easily. Kate didn't chase him. She didn't push. She simply stayed consistent. And that consistency became something rare in William's world. But as their bond grew stronger, so did the pressure around them. The media scrutiny was relentless, especially on Kate. She was judged for her clothes, her family, her silence. There were moments when stepping away would have been easier. Moments when William himself questioned whether he could ever give her a normal life. And this is where many people misunderstand their story. When William chose to slow down their relationship, even briefly step back, it wasn't because of doubt about Kate. It was fear. Fear of history repeating itself. Fear of putting the woman he loved into a role that had destroyed his mother. And through that uncertainty, Kate did something that would later define their partnership. She chose strength without drama, independence without resentment, loyalty without surrendering herself. That period changed everything. It taught William that love is not about possession, but protection. That partnership means choosing someone not just for the good days, but for the unbearable ones. And it is during this time that his appreciation for Kate deepened into something far more profound than romance. When they reunited with clarity and commitment, the relationship was no longer fragile. It was intentional. Kate understood the institution she was marrying into. William understood the woman standing beside him. And together, they began shaping a different kind of royal dynamic, one rooted in emotional stability rather than spectacle. Marriage did not remove the challenges. In many ways, it amplified them. Parenthood, public responsibility, and the slow transition toward becoming the central figures of the monarchy placed enormous strain on their private lives. But again and again, Kate became William's anchor. Not by overshadowing him, but by grounding him. Those close to the couple have often noted how Kate reads William's moods before he speaks. How she steadies him in moments of quiet stress. How she creates a sense of normalcy for their children that William never had growing up. These are not gestures meant for headlines. They are acts of emotional labor that rarely receive public acknowledgement. Which is why William's words matter so deeply. When a man raised to suppress vulnerability says that the best thing that ever happened to him is his wife, it reveals something raw. It reveals gratitude. It reveals dependence, not in weakness, but in trust. It suggests that behind the confident public figure is someone who understands exactly how much he owes his emotional survival to the woman beside him. This is not a man speaking out of obligation. It is a man speaking from lived experience. Kate has stood with William through moments of intense personal grief, including the loss of his grandparents and the complicated emotions tied to legacy and expectation. She has stood with him during public criticism, internal family tensions, and the ongoing reshaping of the royal family itself. In each of these moments, she has remained steady, not because she had to, but because she chose to. And William sees that. Those words, "the best thing that has ever happened to me," are not romantic exaggeration. They are a quiet acknowledgement that without Kate, his path might have been far lonelier. That the burden of becoming king is lighter because it is shared. That love, in its truest form, is not about admiration, but endurance. Their relationship also challenges long-standing royal patterns. Unlike previous generations, William and Kate operate as a unit. Decisions are made together. Appearances are navigated as partners. Parenting is intentional and hands-on. This is not accidental. It is the result of shared values and mutual respect built over decades, not months. And perhaps most importantly, Kate has allowed William to be emotionally present in ways rarely seen in royal men before him. He speaks openly about mental health. He shows affection with his children. He allows moments of vulnerability to surface. This evolution did not happen in isolation. It happened in a relationship where emotional safety was prioritized. So when William makes such a declaration, it is not just about love. It is about transformation. It is about a boy who lost his mother finding stability. A future king finding partnership. A man finding peace. In a world obsessed with royal drama, scandals, and speculation, this truth often gets overlooked. The real story of William and Kate is not about perfection. It is about resilience. About choosing each other again and again, even when the cost is high. And that is why those words resonate far beyond the palace walls. Because they remind us that even within the most rigid institutions, love can still be the most powerful force. Quiet, steady, life-changing. For Prince William, the crown may be his destiny. But Kate Middleton, by his own admission, is his greatest gift.